So, big news from PlayStation today, where we found that, man, PS5 is looking like it's on its tail end. Not looking like, it's basically confirmed that it's on its tail end. During this earnings call for Sony, we found out some nice little nuggets, and it's interesting because we had PSVR 2 come out recently. We had the Portal come out recently as well. But if you go into Target, Best Buy, or whatever, you can readily find a PS5. Still can't find a Portal, which is annoying, but whatever. But yeah, man, PS5 is pretty readily available. So how did this all come about? A bunch of people have been commenting on this, but really it just comes down to units sold, right? Sony isn't moving as many units. The holiday season didn't go quite as planned, but however, in all fairness, like, they had some crazy projections, and it just didn't meet them. But because it didn't meet those projections, Sony can now kind of say, okay, well, these sales are going to be just a little less when we compare them year over year, right? And not that they're not going to be selling PS5s, they will, but just not as much as that previous year. So they'll start seeing a slow decline. But not really what I want to focus on, right? This is a console mover story, so let's talk about it. Now, what game studio, Kojima, looking at you, do we know is working on a brand new IP? That's right, Hideo Kojima, new stealth game. And it won't be a surprise if it's going to be on ps6, right? I talked about that in a previous video. So, big news right there, right? And I think that was announced because Sony had these numbers already, and they were like, oh wow, this came in way below. And we didn't even see anything from this new game, right? But again, I think it all is starting to make sense now why they had that announcement. And Sony wants us to start talking about rumors, wants us to start doing videos like this, where we're keeping that PS6 kind of top of mind now. So really going to be interesting to see. But yeah, no surprise now why that stealth game was just mentioned and talked about, and we didn't have anything to really go off of. So we know game development takes a while, right? Delays are not uncommon, Skull and Bones, y'all know. But many of these games, they get announced and they have like this release date, and generally that release date isn't met, right? They have to go and delay it for whatever reasons. But again, it takes a long time to develop games, right? And so PlayStation is going to be 4 years old this year. So, no surprise that, they're going to start working on like that PS6 architecture, the design, console, all that, right? All of that's going to have to be pre-planned this far in advance. And again, we need console movers, right? We need games when it launches. We need stuff that people are going to be excited about. So my prediction really is that we're actually going to be seeing a new IP outside of the Hideo Kojima IP that was announced, right? Because if we think about these IPs that come out, usually there's one that comes out right on the tail end of the console life cycle, right? The Last of Us was PS3, right? We had Horizon, we had God of War, that was on the PS4 cycle, right? That went into PS5. And then that way, again, you have console movers, right? And then people are looking forward to that next console because they know, hey, we got like 2-3 games that we know are going to be fire going into this new console that we're going to be getting, right? So it's going to be really interesting to see what these new IPs are going to be, because there's no question about it, we're going to need them, right? And I think that we're going to see another IP announced in the next 12 months, because again, you got to keep that, you got to keep it flowing. But Anyhow, yeah, I'm excited. Should be fun. Great news from Sony. We'll just have to see what happens. And yeah, appreciate y'all watching. Over and out.